Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. So today I decided to paint another landscape painting, and we'll be doing some light play. You know how much I love painting the light and doing all the shadows to really emphasize the existence of light, because where there is light there is shadow. I know it sounds a little cheesy and all that, but yeah, they go together very well, and I really like the effect on that. I really like the effect of that on a painting. So as you can see here, I have a square canvas board. Actually, it's the back of the canvas pad that I bought, and I decided to use it because it's quite sturdy, and I think it's good for doing a tutorial. So I'll be linking in the description box below the reference image for this painting tutorial as always, and the colors that we'll be using for today's painting are pretty normal and pretty usual. I'll be writing it down in the description box below as well, but I might as well say it. So we have titanium white, phthalo blue, excuse the other colors, those are dried acrylics. Anyway, this is black, titanium white, phthalo blue, burnt sienna, medium yellow, and sap green. So I'm gonna sketch first the subject. I actually don't know if I will be sketching the subject because all right, maybe I'll just show you how it's gonna look like. The general view of it, but it will be painted over anyway. So for purposes of just showing you the general look of the painting, I'm gonna sketch it, and for the sketch I'm just gonna use my black color. So I'm gonna dab onto my black, and yeah, I'm just gonna show you where the horizon is gonna go, where the trees are gonna go, but basically yeah, that's just about it. I'll be painting over it anyway, so I don't have to be in full detail when it comes to sketching. So I'm gonna define first where the horizon is gonna go. It's almost 1/4 of my canvas. So I'm using a 15 3/4 by 15 3/4 canvas paper. Again, this is the back of the canvas pad. All right, so this will be the horizon. I don't know if this is too small. I think I will adjust it a bit. I'm gonna make it quite higher, maybe here. Okay, because we can actually correct our paintings on the spot. You don't have to be too planned and precise when it comes to sketching. And then for the trees, there will be lots of trees here like that, so that you just have an idea. And then this will be a little opening. Okay, this will be an opening where the light passes, the sunlight, and there will be tree trunks right here. It's like that. It will be really, really beautiful. We'll do our best to make it really beautiful. So basically that's it, guys. I don't know if it doesn't, I know it doesn't make sense. It looks like nothing really, not even a good abstract. But just to show you, you can check out the reference image that I'm using. It is basically this. This is the general look of the painting. So now I'm gonna underpaint the foreground. So I'm gonna use a fairly large brush for this one. I'm gonna use my burnt sienna. I'm gonna mix that with mid yellow. You can use your cadmium yellow if you don't have the mid yellow. They're basically the same when it comes to tone and when it comes to effect when you mix it with other colors. So I'm gonna get my titanium white, get tiny bit of black just to tone the color down. Okay, maybe add more burnt sienna and add more black. Maybe add more black. All right, maybe this color, and this is good for underpainting. Okay, like that. And then it's like yellow ochre, right? Yellow ochre color. If you don't have the yellow ochre, yeah, you can simply follow the color mixture that I just did. I'm gonna darken so that I remove that sketch line that I had originally. I don't want to see that anymore. Okay, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna allow this first to dry. Let's move on to underpainting the background. And for that, I'll be using another big brush, but I'll make sure that it's clean because I don't want the brownie color to mix. So I'm getting my titanium white, mix that with phthalo blue. And I'm just gonna color this area. I'm gonna add more blue. Okay, I'm gonna lighten a bit. This will be covered with paints anyway, so don't worry too much if you don't get the perfect blending. The purpose is to just have a suggestion of the sky in the background because we don't want it to be just white. We want some suggestion of blue sky in the background. It will be painted over anyway, but we want to make sure that it's there. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna get just pure white. So I think I'm just gonna pour it like this. And I'm gonna allow the blue colors on my paintbrush to kind of mix with the white so that we don't really eliminate the blue color. It stays there, but the more dominant color is white because again, we will be doing some light play today. My favorite. We'll be painting some light. Okay, just paint it this way. We're still in the underpainting. The good thing about this is that you can still see the sketch part so that you don't get lost if you want to follow the sketch that I did, although I must say that the sketch is pretty easy for you to forget. I mean, for you not to remember it. Alright, like this. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of blue just to kind of mix. Alright. And then I'm gonna wash my brush. As you can see, I did not color this part because we will be using another color for that. I'm just allowing the paint to somehow dry so that I don't really blend the colors. So I'm gonna get my mid yellow, mix that with white, all right, and tiny bit of brown. But actually, we have to get more white, more white. I'm gonna try to use this color. All right, maybe this is good. So just color this area. And of course, I am the queen of using my hand directly on my canvas. If you're new to my channel, you'll probably find it weird that I'm using my fingers and my hands. But yeah, I think a lot of artists are doing this too now. Okay, so I'm just gonna, okay, that's too yellow. But anyway, I'm just gonna use it to my advantage. I'm just gonna spread more yellow color. Like that. I know it doesn't make sense right now, right? To me, it doesn't make sense, but I know where I'm going. So just try to blend. Okay, like that. And then I think I'm just gonna allow this first to dry. I'm gonna use the remaining light yellow color to color some portions of the foreground. All right, like that. And then I'm gonna switch my brush. Okay, so I'm gonna get my white, pure white. Just try to lighten this area. Just got my white. So just use more white right here because this is where the light is coming from. So with the use of more titanium white, you emphasize the light source even more. Of course, this is not the final touch. We're just trying to already emphasize it before we do the trees. Because the problem with doing the trees first is that we'll be painting over it again. We'll be painting over it again, and then it's a waste of time, right? We're trying to minimize our efforts when it comes to our painting without compromising the quality that we want for our paintings. Okay, I'm gonna extend it here. Just add white. Okay, I'm gonna allow that first to dry. I'm gonna get my black. We're going to create some shadows already. Right, so I'm just gonna darken the right portion, but I'm doing it quite freely because we're doing shadows. We're not doing any object without. We're actually doing shadows here, and you know the shadows. They are not really. They are kind of distorted silhouette of the thing uh, that is being hit by the light, right? It's actually not too hard lines. There are no hard lines when it comes to shadows if you really look closely. Okay, I'm gonna darken this area. Okay, I'm gonna get my brown burnt sienna, and I'm gonna mix that with the existing brown yellowy color that we have. Okay, let's stop right here and then let's move on to doing some trees before we go back, all right? Let's just allow the paint to dry. Okay, for the tree trunks, I'm just gonna use the black color. Maybe I'm gonna add tiny bit of blue. Okay, we don't want it to be super black, and a tiny bit of white. Again, we're not going for pure black today, but we're going to use black and mix it with other colors. Some people or some artists avoid using pure black, but I'll use black and then mix it with some other colors to get the color that I want. I don't want to eliminate black altogether because I just love the effect of black in some of my paintings. So using dark color, you can use actually the color that you want for this. You can even add brown to that, because we'll be painting over it anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So for the tree trunks, I'm just gonna go straight up, okay? We will not be doing just yet tree trunks that are going randomly, all right? We're just going for straight tree trunks right now. There's no stress right here because you can simply just do whatever patterns that you want. It will be painted over with some foliage later, so don't you worry too much. I'm gonna go for a little browny color this time, so I'm just gonna add some burnt sienna and white to the existing dark color just to give more emphasis to the browny color. Then let's create some near trees here. Okay, I'm gonna switch to some dark colors. All right, okay, that's basically the tree trunks right here. But of course, we will be going back to that later. We'll be doing some more details. Okay, so I'm just gonna add more because I feel like it needs more tree trunks. Some overlapping another. Just make sure that you leave spaces in between those tree trunks. Do not fully close them. All right, and then let's go here. The trees here will be more of a silhouette type, meaning we'll be doing more dark colored tree trunks right here because it's not really receiving enough light. Okay. We start first with smaller tree trunks. And then don't be scared to just, dab on the paint on your canvas. I'll be using some hints of blue right here. And then some black. So the colors of the tree trunks right here are more of blue and black. Nothing really brown here because brown is more of suggestive of light. So I'm just going up and down to suggest random tree trunks. Before we do the foliage, which will give life to this painting. We'll be doing some diagonal branches. think I'm gonna switch to a more fine brush. So using a more pointy brush, I'm just gonna go and create thin branches or thinner branches. So just make sure that the tree trunks touch the horizon line because we don't want floating trees right here. Right. I'm just so excited to do the foliage now. I think this is making sense already. So for the foliage, I'm just gonna use a fan brush. I can actually use any other paint brush for this one, but I think the fan brush will help me achieve it more. So I'm gonna go for brownie color. So get your burnt sienna, mix that with white, mix it with yellow like this. Tiny bit of black. So it's basically the color that we already had earlier. Yeah, okay. I add more brown. And let's try creating some foliage. So I'm just using the tip of my brush like this. Okay, like that. I'm gonna add white. So I'm just adding more white color for the background. Again, this is very preliminary to the foliage. We just want to identify first where the foliage are gonna go. So like that. And then I'm gonna start dabbing onto my green. Just get your sap green, all right? And then I'm gonna add some greeny colors. So just add some greens here and there. Just gently use the brush to tap on the canvas. Don't press too hard. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna make some dark brown. I'm just gonna mix the burnt sienna with my black. We're going to create some depth. Maybe add some green. We're just going to create depth so that the foliage look more real. Alright, now I'm gonna dab onto just pure green. And some hints of foliage in the background. Do not cover those spaces. Just make some suggestions of foliage in the background. Do not overdo it, in other words. I'm gonna dab onto my yellow. Maybe I'm gonna add white to my existing yellow just to emphasize even more the presence of a light towards the right. And then some light green, super light. I'm gonna add bits of yellows as well. And here, just a bit of foliage that are light right here. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to darker foliage for the right side. Again, this is not finished, definitely not. There is no light yet there. I'm gonna get my blue. I'm gonna dab onto my black, okay? Just combine the two colors. And then let's create some foliage right here. So here, okay, I'm gonna add some white so that I create that a little gray color. All right, and then before we move on to more detailing, I'm gonna go and get finer brush, I'm going to redefine some branches because they got painted over. So I'm gonna dab onto my black and just kind of let those branches make appearance because they kind of lost. I kind of lost them as I was doing the foliage. I'm gonna darken this. Right. Then I'm gonna get my yellow and then brown and then white. I think I need more white. And then I'm just gonna make some more highlights. Okay, and then I'm gonna highlight a tree here. And here. And then I'm gonna highlight a bit. Okay, I'm gonna get my white because this needs a lot of white color. We're going to do the light play right here. I'm gonna dab onto my white, make sure it's pretty dry. Like that. Right here also. So you can see I'm just dabbing on some white paint. I'm not smearing over the paint. I'm just dabbing it using my fingers, gently applying it onto the canvas so that I create that light effect. Also here. So just be careful not to overdo this step because you might paint over what you just did, and we don't want that. Of course, you can always correct it by simply painting over it, but we don't want to overwork our work, right? As much as possible, we don't want to go back to areas we've already done. I'm gonna create some gray color just to kind of make it a little more misty in the background. I'm adding tiny bits of blue color. Oops, dry. Right. Now I'm gonna get again my white. Okay, like that. And I want to really focus more on the trees. I'm gonna get my palette knife. I'm gonna try to apply some foliage using palette knife. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm just gonna try it since we're here already. I'm just gonna dab onto the brown yellow mixture that I have here. Maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white. I'm gonna use the back of my palette knife to create some more foliage. Okay, I'm gonna get a black. I'm gonna go for more brown. and some greens. Okay, now I'm gonna insert some blue spaces. Okay, I'm gonna get my black. Let's create some black lines on the left side of each trunk. So I'm just emphasizing even more the shadowy part. Then I'm going to add some hints of browns here and there. Oops, sorry. And I'm gonna add more foliage. Okay, now I'm switching to browns. Then again, white. Okay, I'm going to try to do the sunlight now. Okay, this is actually making sense. I'm going to try to do the sunlight. I'm gonna use more white this time. I'm gonna dab onto my yellow brownie color, but more white. And I'm gonna dry brush now, meaning I'm gonna remove the excess water from my brush by dabbing it onto my towel, and I'm gonna create some light effects. Did you see that? Did you see the effect that we did? Again, just dry brush. Okay. Now I'm going to highlight even more those areas where the sunlight is present. Okay, I'm gonna add more depth right here because just like the right side, it's not really receiving enough light. I added some hints of light browny colored leaves right here. Let me check. I'm gonna get my black and just spread some black color shadows. Right, I'm just gonna highlight the tree trunks. Right, so some tree trunks receive light, some don't. Really lightening it. So I'm applying a little bit of browny colors so that it's not super black. So yeah, I'm not speaking anymore because I'm really concentrating on doing the shadows. But basically I'm just applying some dark brownie. Yeah, I really like this one. Okay, that's it. I got it. So I was just applying some brownie colors here and there, and then trying to create some more light by lightening this area using white. And then I also applied some white colors right here, so that really emphasizes where the light source is. So yeah, and also the use of light blue color. I don't know if you can see that. The difference between the dark and the blue color here suggests that it's being hit by the light, only that it's not super duper highlighted. I don't know if that's the word, super duper, but you know what I'm talking about. Where there is absence of light, there is darkness, and when there is light, there is some sort of shadow if the light is being cast on an object. So yeah, you can tell it from our painting. So I really like this one, guys. I'm gonna add black to the tree trunks for more detailing. You can add more branches and stems to make it more wild. All right. Okay, this is good. Gonna get my blue. I'm gonna add hints of blues right here. I know that you may find it weird, but I'm adding some hints of blues here because light is not just black and white. It has some different colors that you can only see if you take a look, or take a closer look. Sorry guys, I cannot speak today. If you take a closer look on the shadows. So I added some hints of blues here. You may probably not really see it, but I can definitely see it. And if your viewer likes a more realistic painting, I think you should practice really looking closely at the object that you're painting, and then you will see that it's not just black and white, yellow and red. There are so many colors, even in nature. Okay, I will be adding more light later. I'm just allowing the paint to dry, but I will definitely add more details later. Some shadow. So the more you add layers of foliage on the foliage or the trees, the more it becomes more full, the trees, right? One stroke or one layer is not enough for me. When it comes to doing foliage, I need to do a lot of layers if I want it to look more full. I just love adding depth to this area. And make this area quite light blue. Let me check. Alright, now I'm gonna use a bigger brush to really create the light that I want for this painting. I'm gonna get a fairly large brush. I'm gonna get my white and yellow. White and yellow, and then I'm just apply it diagonally like this. And a little bit of white here and there, spots of white right here. Let me check. This is good. This is nice, guys. So I really like this one. Oh my god. Maybe I'm just gonna add a little bit of greeny colors. Just tiny bit of detail. Right. Wow. All right, this is good, guys. Oh my gosh. So I think I have to sign this now because this is done. I'm gonna use my white to sign right here, not so busy space. And I think we're good. We're good, guys. Yes. Wow, it's simple yet really suggestive of what the nature looks like, right? Okay, I might add a little bit of darkening right here because as you know me, I'm gonna go back to my painting after signing it. I'm gonna darken. I'm just gonna use black to kind of glaze this area to apply some shadows and fullness right here. And then I'm gonna leave this as is. I just want more fullness on the left side. Okay. Yeah, like that. So yeah, like that. So that we really emphasize where the light is coming, and that is the center. It's not really the center visually, but it is the center of the forest, which is like an opening here. So yeah, I think this is good, guys. This is good. So I hope you enjoyed our tutorial today, and I hope you do this one as well. And if you're not doing it, at least I'm hoping that you still enjoyed watching it and you actually enjoyed me stressing so much about so many layering. I hope you appreciate that too. So if you like this video, share this with your friends, like this video, and let them know that I exist. See you in my next video, guys, and have a great day. Love you.